have to tell you that there is nothing compared to the magic of these kids together in a room just talking, or better yet, hanging out in the halls talking. Because the energy of their connections is as valuable as the energy that any of our connections could ever make. More of your specific questions. I think I covered foreign language. Will we be offering AP and IB? Well, the IB part is really easy. IB is sold as a scope and sequence. It's the entire school curriculum. It's really expensive. And you're nothing else once you're IB, unless you're like a little school within a school, and we're practically that already at 216. It would completely take over, and it wouldn't be the experiment that a charter school is supposed to be. So while parts of our program will echo what IB does, and especially the theory of knowledge course, which I think is the best thing about IB, we will not be doing an IB curriculum. AP is a little harder, because everybody looks to APs like the Calvin Klein of education right now. Everybody sort of wants it. And in fact, pragmatically, you need a little AP on your transcript for college admissions. You can already tell, I suppose, how excited I am about this. Let me tell you a little bit about AP in a small school. If you say, okay, well, we're going to run a little AP, what do we need? Well, we need to do calculus A, B, and BC. We need to do AP US History. We need to do AP English, literature, no, composition and literature. Yeah, we need to do both those. Okay, and then we need to do whatever subject. Oh, we have the 3 sciences. Okay, we've got AP courses in a class of 63 students. And all of a sudden, there's nothing else. And if you put AP up against the standards that we hold for quality gifted curriculum, it just doesn't stand up that way. So we will give kids access to AP courses. And the AP courses that we choose to teach at the school, and there may not be as many as any of you want, we will make sure that the instruction of those is qualitatively different. Because the irony about AP is that if you teach it right, it's really wonderful and kids do really well, but teachers are so afraid of teaching it right that it rarely gets taught really the way that kids are most successful. Teachers tend to lecture, which is not the successful way, but they feel like they're covering the curriculum. The curriculum guide is, very heavy. Teaching AP the way gifted kids need it, using inquiry-oriented instruction, using hands-on investigation, really focusing on primary documents and authentic research, then it can be wonderful. But as I said, very few people feel like they have the time to do that. So the AP we offer, we're going to be looking at qualitative different instruction of that AP. Yeah, it's so much more creative, so much more organic, so much more of the world. The question I would throw back at you is, if you had a choice, would you have your child listening to a lecture about Truman in the Second World War, taking notes and taking a test? Or would you have them engaged in a group, pretending that they were on Truman's committee, trying to figure out what to do in World War II? And, hey, you know what? Those guys at Los Alamos finally come through with something. Let's take a look at it. And discussing what they should do and what the implications could be. Or would you rather have them sit at the elbow of somebody who's writing a new biography of Truman and has all this evidence and is trying to put the pieces together and asking your child to help and reflect and support that work? Which do you think is the short-term gain, and which do you think is going to last them a lifetime and help them in their career as well as their schooling? And that's the trade-off we're looking at in a very small school. We will have some AP. I don't want to scare people away by saying, no AP. But I really want us to, and this is certainly an ongoing dialogue. It's not a dialogue yet. It's an ongoing lecture, and it will be a dialogue in just a second. This is ongoing, but I really want you to think about, as we think, the relative value of that in a very unique environment that's supposed to be a charter school, which is an experiment.